Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, welcome back. We have another coincidence in the news today. The governor of my state, Pennsylvania, just made it mandatory for all daycare and pre-K students and schools to have to wear masks, even if vaccinated. I got several videos on Tom Wolfe. Two of the prior three got deleted by Google for medical misinformation. So we're not going to do that in this video. We're going to just talk about a few conspiracy theories. I will touch on some of my prior posts if you haven't seen those coincidences. So we're going to start off right here, straight from the horse's mouth. Effective September 7th, masks will be required in schools and early learning and child care programs in Pennsylvania. This will keep our students safer and in the classroom where we all want them to be. It's kind of funny because when I was in school growing up, I knew that my teachers didn't know shit about anything. Some of the dumbest people in the world that I've ever met in my life, I went to school with. And it's the education system that turns them into those retards. So, the coincidence of this is that from the date he announces this to his upcoming birthday is 79 days. That's an interesting number with a certain group of people who operate by this conspiracy theory. Notice his full name's also got the 79, Thomas Westerman Wolfe, 79. And he announces this, that it's going to go into effect on 7/9. It's an interesting coincidence, isn't it? Notice his full name's also got the 250 when you run the alphabetic order. And it's kind of funny because that cipher, coincidentally, you guys see this? How do I get my camera? You guys see that? See gematria? See the coincidence? What does this say? Yeah, G7. Y'all see it on there? G7. That's the only bit of U.S. currency I got here. Another coincidence. What do we got on that one right there, huh? E5. It's upside down for you guys, but that's the way the camera is. It's an interesting coincidence, isn't it? Notice September 7th, too. That's a date with 57 numerology. Notice the coincidences between vaccine and daycare. Coincidentally, in all four base ciphers, vaccine and daycare sum to the exact same thing: 57, 30, 132, and 42. It's an interesting coincidence, isn't it? Now, the reason that he announced this today, based on my conspiracy theory, is that it's a date with 44 numerology. And you'll notice the words chemo, cancer, kill, mask, they all sum to 44 in that cipher that coincidentally is on your currency. And don't forget, things like military, infantry, trooper, officer, they're all 44 as well. Tom Wolfe's birthday, too, November 17th, coincidentally, is the day leaving 44 days left in the year. And what's funny is Tom Wolfe coincidentally came down with coronavirus December 8th, 2020. And from that date to his announcement, August 31st, was 266 days. That's an interesting coincidence because in the language of gematria, when you run the alphabetic order in reverse, you'll notice Holy Roman Empire, Operation Warp Speed, and a Zeus Homane Salvator all sum to 266. It's an interesting coincidence. So if you haven't seen this was a video of mine that got taken down for medical misinformation. I put this out in early December, but, again, apparently Google doesn't like, conspiracy theories, apparently. So we're going to just talk about the coincidence here. So he tested positive on December 8th, 2020. And the coincidence of this is, coincidentally, the first death in the state of Pennsylvania from coronavirus was March 18th. And from March 18th to December 8th was also 266 days. And again, those same three things, Holy Roman Empire, Operation Warp Speed, and a Zeus Homane Salvator, all summed to 266. Then coincidentally, from December 8th to August 31st was also 266 days. Isn't it a bit of a coincidence that these two events would happen exactly 266 days apart. So, again, Tom Wolfe, I was going to put this in my other video, but Tom Wolfe, this is in my other blog post, but I feel it's more appropriate here since we're on the subject of coincidences. Tom Wolfe's full name, when you run the alphabetic order in reverse, sums to 263. That's the 56th prime number. And you'll notice something right here. Society of Jesus, that's the official name of the Jesuits. Their name sums to 56. All-Seeing Eye, which of course is, on the U.S. currency, is 56. And Washington, D.C., where the Jesuits have been longer than the federal government, sums to 56. Coincidentally, Anthony Fauci, his name sums to 56. Coronavirus is also 56. I don't even think I put that on here. But coronavirus is 56. Event 201, the coronavirus outbreak simulation of October 18th, 2019. That sums to 56. Paris, France, where the Jesuits were created, is 56. Rebranded flu is 56. Regeneron, the really expensive beverage for healing coronavirus, is 56. Fratelli Tutti is 56. That was Pope Francis's encyclical about what to do about coronavirus. COVID vaccines, 56. U.S. government's 56. Climate change is 56. Unemployment's 56 because coincidentally, coronavirus has led to a lot of unemployment across the planet. Power outage is 56. Natural disasters, 56. National Guard's 56. The government told people there might be a shortage of toilet paper, and they got them under mind control, and they went up and bought up all the toilet paper. And you'll notice coincidentally, mind control and toilet paper are both 56. Black Lives Matter is 56. I can't think of anything that would have happened that would trigger Black Lives Matter protests right now. But if there was, understand it'd be a conspiracy theory. Corona del Mar's 56. That was coincidentally where Kobe Bryant's buried. Adolf Hitler's 56. There was another conspiracy theorist in the community here. He wrote this book that it's called Number Games, 9/11 to Coronavirus. And, you can also tie in things like, Adolf Hitler had a lot to do with World War II, which, had a lot to do with Pearl Harbor, which was connected to 9/11, which, the whole plan for 9/11 went into effect in 1968 when coincidentally George W. Bush graduated from Yale and Skull and Bones. 911 was made the national emergency dialing code. The New York Jets won their only Super Bowl. Boeing released their jumbo jet. The term coronavirus was coined. 1968 was the year of the Hong Kong pandemic out of China, and coincidentally coronavirus comes out of China, and the word coronavirus was coined in 1968 as a synonym for influenza. And then coincidentally today they're telling you that the symptoms of coronavirus are the exact same as the flu, while telling you the flu is down 98% and COVID-19 cases are through the roof. It's all a conspiracy theory. So is this right here. As a matter of fact, let me bring this up for you guys so you can see this. Did you ever see this? This is called Fact Check. Project Runway mask outfit by designer named COVID is not evidence of predictive programming. And you know what? I believe them. It says, viewed tens of thousands of times, a viral clip of a fashion reality show, Project Runway, shows an outfit with a matching face mask designed by a contestant named COVID Kapoor. While the 2019 scene is authentic, some users allege the video is evidence of predictive programming, implying that there was prior knowledge of the COVID-19 pandemic. This notion is false. And you know what? I believe that. I mean, it's clearly, nobody had any foreknowledge. This was not planned long in advance. That article is absolutely correct because that's what the media is every day. It's all correct. And you'll notice COVID Kapoor, which is that guy's name, his name coincidentally does sum to 56. His real name's Kevin Kapoor, and coincidentally, that's also 56. I mean, again, there's a lot of conspiracy theories here, but, again, this is something you need to take very seriously as well. During a routine test, this is from Tom Wolfe, his verified Twitter account, took a screenshot of it. I'm sure the tweet's still up. You can search for this coincidence yourself if you'd like. But you'll notice during a routine test yesterday, I tested positive for COVID-19. I have no symptoms and am feeling well, and I'm in isolation at home. Now, a conspiracy theorist would say, how can a person test positive for coronavirus while having no symptoms of coronavirus? I say you guys are just being you guys just have too much of a closed mind, okay? You know what? You need to be more open-minded and realize that, yes, you can test positive for a vaccine or for a virus while showing no symptoms. I mean, it's hard to tell right now, but you know what? I'm not even going to go there. I am following CDC and Department of Health guidelines. Francis has been tested as well. For you that don't know, he's talking about Dr. Rachel Levine, him and his wife. His wife's Francis, and he also talks about Rachel Levine and his replied comments here. I have a video on her as well. But as we await the result, is quarantining at home with me. So his wife at the time, I guess, didn't test positive for COVID because he didn't talk about that. But anyway, yeah, I mean, that's why you want to listen to this governor. I mean, they're not treating you like you're stupid by saying that he tested positive for COVID-19 while having no symptoms of COVID-19. They're not treating you like you're a moron. Again, you're a conspiracy theorist if you question that. So we're going to go ahead and talk about this coincidence. This is literally one of the first videos I ever put out on YouTube, for those of you that have been around the block for a while. This news comes out of Lancaster Online. You'll notice that on the date, March 18th, as we already talked about, that was the first date of COVID-19, the first death of COVID-19 in the state of Pennsylvania. And you'll notice that day they came out and said there were 133 cases in Pennsylvania. Federal Bureau of Investigations 133, President's 133, White House is 133, government's 133. That's all conspiracy theory. Now, we're going to read this. We're going to read this story. Northampton County. It says Pennsylvania has reported its first death related to COVID-19, and it was in the Lehigh Valley. A spokesperson for the family has identified the man who died as 55-year-old Carmen Fusco of Northampton County. Now, coincidentally, he died at age 55, which means that he was in the 56th year of his life. And as we just talked about, there's nothing suspicious about the number 56. He was reportedly one of 3 family members to die from the virus. Fusco's sister, Rita Fusco Jackson, died Friday, said Roseanne Parcedo Fedora, a family attorney and acting spokesperson. I like how they said that she was acting. Never mind, that's conspiracy theory. What am I doing? Anyway, Parcedo Fedora told 69 News, remember the Jesuit order 69, but that's a coincidence, Wednesday night that another family member was very ill. She later told the New York Times, which has never been controlled by the Jesuits, that Carmen and Rita's mother died Wednesday night, hours after her son. So 55-year-old Carmen Fusco dies in Northampton County. And again, remember, Northampton and Carmen Fusco both sum to 55, but that's a coincidence. Again, there's a lot of coincidences here. Somebody should keep tabs on how many times I've said the word coincidence and conspiracy theory in this video, because there has been a lot of coincidences. And what's funny is the Event 201 coronavirus outbreak simulation was done October 18th, 2019, co-hosted by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, Johns Hopkins University, and the World Health Organization. And they simulated a global pandemic that'll kill 65 million people over 18 months. Event 201 was on Melinda Gates' 65th day of her age. Bill and Melinda Gates were married 65 days after Bill Gates' birthday. Then on March 5th, 2020, the 65th day of the year, because it was a leap year, they reported 65,000 cases in the United States. The word pandemic coincidentally sums to 65. But anyway, 152 days after Event 201 was the first death in the state of Pennsylvania. And Pennsylvania's got the 152. It's an interesting coincidence. Don't forget as well that March 18th is the 78th day of the year. Again, remember, Jesuits 78. I forgot to put that up here, but you can fact check, just like the Project Runway article. Jesuits 78, Scottish Rites 78, Wuhan coronavirus is 78. 81 is a big ritual number, coincidentally. Remember, March 18th, when written out, sums to 81. Northampton County sums to 81. Ritual sums to 81. And on March 18th, we get a ritual story out of Northampton County. All conspiracy theory. I put it here as well. Yes, again, I went through the 56 list. So there's Tom Wolfe, Thomas Westerman Wolfe. His name's also 263, the 56th prime. Again, all of these things sum to 56. There are 56 signatures in the Declaration of Independence. But again, that's all a conspiracy theory. To further prove my point, let's look at this right here. This is the CDC, Center of Disease Control and Prevention. The CDC, 24/7, saving lives, protecting people. There's no doubt that they do. They got the registered trademark up there, right? T, the 20th letter, M, the 13th, TM, added up, 33, masonry, secrecy, order, federal, police, they're all 33. Nothing suspicious there. But we're going to look at these deaths. PA's leading causes of death in 2017. I like how they didn't update this for 2020 or 2021. So this word I can never pronounce correctly, but notice this right here, right? 2,500 deaths, flu, pneumonia, which in 2020, 2021 is coronavirus. I got to quit saying that. That's medical misinformation. I apologize. But flu, pneumonia, notice 3,000 people died. Kidney disease, which is also coronavirus nowadays. So is diabetes, so is respiratory disease, so is stroke, so is cancer, so is heart disease. You can't die by anything other than coronavirus in 2021. But look at this right here in 2017. This is going to prove. It's not going to prove a point. This is, again, coincidence. But notice this right here. In 2017, there were 32,000 deaths in the state of Pennsylvania from heart disease. And again, all of these things, heart disease, stroke, cancer, all the respiratory disease, diabetes, kidney disease, flu, pneumonia. You know what these are really caused from? These are caused by inactivity, a lack of working out, a shit diet. That's why people have these health problems, lower back pain, anterior pelvic tilt. All of these things are a result of inactivity, staring at your phone all day, extended periods of sitting without exercise, eating like garbage, drinking like garbage. This is why people have these health problems. But again, I'm just a conspiracy theorist. So let's just look at this right here, right? Cancer, remember these numbers, 28,000 deaths. Heart disease, 32,000 deaths. Now, Pennsylvania is a state in 2020 that is home to 13 million people, right? Let me go back here. Okay, COVID-19 pandemic in Pennsylvania. This is what we want. Let's bring up their statistics. How do we get the... Okay, here we go. So, in 2020, there were less than 14,000 deaths in Pennsylvania from coronavirus. Actually, this might even be updated through the rest of 2021 for all I know. But less than 14,000 deaths in the state of Pennsylvania, a state with over 13 million people. And look at in 2017, cancer more than doubled the deaths of COVID-19. Heart disease more than doubled the deaths of COVID-19. Are we shutting down the world and mandating masks and canceling concerts, sporting events, and going into quarantine because of heart disease and cancer? Well, why not? Why not? I mean, the statistics are right here. This is from the goddamn CDC. There's no way this is medical misinformation. These deaths dwarf coronavirus, yet we're not shutting down the world as a result of heart disease and cancer every year. I like how they don't put how many deaths. I guess they do put the drug overdose, homicide, firearms. But again, you know what a lot of these are too. Heart disease. Again, respiratory problems, diabetes, kidney disease. You know what a lot of these are a result of? Obesity. And yet the CDC doesn't say jack shit about how the government subsidizes junk food with your tax dollars and subsidizes corn and sugar more than any other drug out there. You know, fast food places, the line is backed up, you know, out of the freaking parking lot because people eat nothing but, you know, they eat like shit. That's why you see so many fat asses walking around. And yet it amazes me that, because really obesity could be classified for almost every one of these deaths, truly, you know, and again, all of these things, we're not locking down the world for these things. So again, for people not to see it's an agenda, you got to be brain dead. But went off a little tangent there. Remember, this video is all conspiracy theory. Make sure your child's wearing the mask in school. Make sure they're breathing in their own carbon monoxide. Make sure that they are eating all their sugar and corn syrup at lunchtime. And make sure they're being taught to ignore people like me and follow people like the CDC. Because the proof is in the pudding once again here. We'll leave it there, conspiracy theorists. I got to get the video out on Patreon on the AFL Grand Final. Till next time.